Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Lisa Michelle here, and today guys, can you notice there is something missing on my face? Yes guys, that has to do with eyebrows. Today we are going to be going over how to get some beautiful eyebrows to frame your face. For me, my eyebrows are pretty much non-existent. They are not here. Where are they, girl? I don't know. They just totally walked away from my face, and this is what I'm left with. Girl, where are your eyebrows? They're here, but they're not here. So I do videos like this every Sunday and Wednesday. If you would like to be a part of the fam, then you know what to do, guys. Just stay tuned and subscribe. Also, guys, you can follow me on Lisa Michelle ____. That is my Instagram handle. I do just regular tutorials. Follow me over there. But without further ado, let's get into this quick tutorial for eyebrows. Alright guys. Okay guys, so let's begin. Eyebrows for me have, I guess within the last few years, they have really kind of been a struggle. If anybody watches like the gram, you see all these girls with these beautiful eyebrows and you're always wondering like, how do I achieve that? What do I do? Last year, a big trend was microblading, and I did consider doing microblading, which is a temporary filler for your eyes, so you don't have to spend so much time every day doing your brows. But I'm glad I didn't go that route. What I did do is just continuously test out new products for my brows, and I am bringing one to you that I find to be really good, and that is by Kat Von D. Today we're going to be using most of her products, and the first one I'm going to talk about is this one right here. This is her Super Brow in Dark Brown. This is a pomade that I have truly enjoyed. We're also going to use her powder in the Brow Struck powder. I will link a video of this powder that I did last year. As a matter of fact, this powder is so fantastic. I love this so much. Also going to be using in this tutorial her two brushes here. As she came out with two brushes, one for 70 and one for 75, and they are a little different. The 75, as you could see, it has little hairs across the top, and there's a purpose for that. And then the 70 is just plain. It's just a hard, stiff, synthetic brush. Another thing that I want to talk about that I found to be really exceptional is this Precisely My Brow. I have this in the number 6, and you know, it's got the spoolie and all of that great stuff. So these are the products that we are going to be using. The first thing that I like to do is take the spoolie from the Precisely My Brow, and I like to just brush and comb up my hairs. Years ago I would get them waxed, and eventually I just ended up with nothing at all. So I don't do any waxing anymore. I just look at my brows for what they are, and I don't tamper with them, or I don't allow anybody else to tamper with them anymore. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go in with this pomade from Kat Von D. We're going to scoop out a little bit, and what I'm going to do is place it inside the cap. This you have to be super careful with because it is really slippery. So I always begin where I see my brow hairs at the beginning right here. So I'm going to continue to do that. As you know me, I have to look, and I place my hand up, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw it along in little small strokes, not big strokes, small strokes. So I like to use a light hand when I'm carving out the bottom brow. And then I just take it and I use this as a stamp, as you can see. And then I just go across the top. Now, if you notice here, it is up high, so I'll kind of brush that part going down because I don't want to go over it too much. So as it gets a little dry, I just stamp some more of this out in the cap and I will just continue on. Remember, using a light stroke. And there's my tail. Like that. The next thing that I like to do is go back with precisely my brow, and I like to just comb the hairs out. So once the hairs are combed out, you could really see what's missing. So what I do is I begin to fill in at the bottom with my number 6, wanting to do a little bit darker towards the end. Once that is done, we're going to move on to the powder, which really is my favorite. So taking the Kat Von D's brush in the number 75, I'm going to pick up the walnut shade and this, and I'm just going to take a little bit. As you can see, it's so well loved. I hold up my brow and I just pull it out with strokes, dipping back in and basically just filling it in. And this is what we are and what we have thus far. No brow. So it looks really full and thick. This is pretty much how I like it. But if you want to be a little bit more severe, this is where I would switch up the powders, and I would go from the walnut and then I would go to the Kat Von D and graphite. This is the super black one, and I would just take a little bit, and the darker color I'm just going to focus that along the back of the brow, just like the little tip and wings. So as you can see, I have a little bit more depth in the back area of the brow. Now the spoolie is super important because if you feel like you have gone too far and it's a little too deep, then if you just brush the spoolie through, it will lighten up the brow hairs in the front, because you just really don't want it to look too harsh and too severe towards the front of the brow, but you definitely want it to have some shape. So the spoolies, the tool is you know, it has its place. All right, so there we have it. Next we're going to go in with this concealer by NARS. This is in the shade Amandi. Any concealer can do, however I do prefer this type of concealer because it just gives you a little bit more control, and the consistency is somewhat thick, and I actually like that. So I'm gonna go in with a flat concealer brush. This one is by Sigma, and I'm just gonna take out a little bit onto the tip of this, and I'm gonna run this along. You just want to carve and clean out the perimeter of this as well. I want to just take a brush and blend that out, or your finger. to pat it out and just clean it up. Now, depending on what shade of concealer you decide to use to clean it up, it can go as a highlighter or just basically to clean it up. If you really want to get fancy and you really want to make it super sharp, you could also take it and run it along the top of the brow as well. I'm gonna go in with my Natasha Denona. This is the mini nude palette. This is the one in the middle. It's just like a nice champagne shade. And being that the concealer is still just a little wet, I'm gonna use this to highlight just the tip, right in the corner ends. So not much, but the shimmery brow bone highlights, they can really pop. So, alright guys, so there you have it. I hope this tutorial really helped you go from this to this. Brows are so important, guys, so I really hope that this helped because they are just game changers. Alright guys, so if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment. Please remember that I do videos like this twice a week. That is Sunday and Wednesday. And I'm also on Facebook, so follow me on my other social media links. And guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Swimming against the tide, I wanna forget you, but you pull me in. I know this ocean is far too wide. I wanna forget you, let me forget you. Push and pull, but you I don't feel I have won. I wanna forget you, but only time will heal.